So every so often, I like to give you guys a raw and unfiltered version of myself, just so that you can know I'm a real person behind the camera and the words and the posters or whatever like that. When we last spoke, I was very, very angry and very, very ready to just blow things up. Um, I am not that angry anymore, not because I have accepted my situation or my situation has significantly improved, but rather I have made peace with my situation in the sense of I know that I'm here and I know that I cannot move on to the next challenge until I deal with this one. And I took to heart something that Hayao Miyazaki said about his son's Goro's work along the lines of you can't create when you're angry or something along those lines. He's like, you can't design or draw when you're angry. And what it is like when you're angry or in a space of anger, it's almost like it shortens what you're able to do. So needless to say, I've made peace with it. These things help me, at least. Crystals, go figure. I'm turning into a crunchy person. I don't know when I did that, but it is what it is. Um, and I'm sober, which is weird because I'm at peace and sober at the same time. Go figure. I'm growing up. Anyway, that being said, I am actually grateful that I am back at a 9 to 5, despite the fact that I hate working for someone else. I am a very self oriented individual, if you can't tell. So I don't like having to answer to other people under any circumstances, which is why I hate a 9 to 5. I have authority issues. Um, but I am actually grateful that I have a 9 to 5 in this instance because it has showed, or I should say, showed me how to create in a more sustainable manner. How I was going before, I was going to burn out, guaranteed. But with me having a 9 to 5 and me having to answer to others, my time is not my own. So that gives me limited free time, and I am forced to work inside of the confines of that, which means I had to find a production schedule that was sustainable and wouldn't take a whole lot of energy away from me, considering that I'm still a wife and mother and I am still a regular human being who needs rest and all this other stuff as well too. So it worked out for the best in a way. I don't know. So that helped. And now I am up to my next challenge, which I'm telling you guys about because I need to be held accountable. And I know if I put it in here, I'm going to want to show that I actually was able to do it. So this is me holding myself accountable to doing this. I have a short story that I have been procrastinating. It's the reason why you haven't seen me write an article in about 2 weeks now. I've been procrastinating on this short story because it is very challenging, not because I do not know how to write it, but rather I am afraid to write it. The reason being because I can paint very pretty pictures. I can paint very vivid stories, but feeling is not my strong suit. I have said it before. And my stories, as I have been getting better at crafting them and writing them, have been drawing me toward evoking more feeling and emotion, which is difficult for me because I've just gotten comfortable with feeling my feelings. Um, so now to move to a place where I am actively engaging in those feelings, it's fucking hard. So, and there's a certain way that I want the feelings to come across too. That's also the challenge because I don't just want to kick my audience into a feeling and then kind of leave them stuck there. I want to kick them into a feeling and then also kind of give them a way out as well, so that way they can craft themselves. They don't just get a new worldview, they get a new worldview they can do something with. And the best writers that I've read have always done that. So now I can't just use the usual methods that I use to get out of a situation when it comes to the short story that I'm looking at right now. This is a deeply personal, deeply reflective story, and I'm okay with sharing my philosophies and worldview, but I'm not entirely okay with sharing myself. I don't know if that makes any sense, but if you ask anybody who has the same mindset, they'll say the same thing. Like, it's one thing to share my philosophies, and philosophy is a philosophy, but sharing me opens you up to judgment. It opens you up to criticism. It opens you up to input and a whole other things. Like, you can criticize my philosophies. I don't care. They're still my philosophies. But criticizing me, I have self-worth and self-esteem issues that I have battled with my entire life. So it takes a lot for me to create a honest, happy version of myself that I can present in a way that is as bulletproof as possible. So being vulnerable opens me up to those feelings of challenging my self-worth once again and having to constantly shape and reshift what I use to define my self-worth. And that is a lot for me. So writing stories like that is challenging, and I have to do it, not because writing a regular story that doesn't do that isn't satisfying. I have to do it because I am the kind of person who sees a challenge and must face it in some way, shape, or form. That's my favorite thing to say. I was trying to avoid saying it, but I did it anyway. Um, and because I've been trained my entire life by all the people around me to rise to challenges and overcome them, I literally don't feel like I can move forward in my writing until I write this short story and address and face that challenge. And the reason, again, that I'm talking about this is because now that I have it out in the open, I can now be held accountable, so I have to do it. There's no running from it anymore. And it's going to be a better thing anyway in the long run, because this type of deeply reflective, deeply invested, vulnerable writing is going to make me a better writer overall, because of the type of writing that I want to accomplish. So, yeah, there's that. So that's pretty much it. Still longer than I want the video to be, but you guys get the idea. So if you checked out already, I completely understand. Again, this is unfiltered and uncut. I'm not expecting you to stay for the whole thing. If you do, congratulations. You have a long attention span. But yeah, I'm going to go and rest and prepare to face this challenge over the next few weeks. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.